What's up, guys? Welcome back to the MontyVerse. I know what you're thinking. I'm not your usual host, Monty. It's Blonty. I went to visit Monty today, and because of my extensive experience with the Cobra Kai martial arts that I studied all throughout the continental United States, he decided it was best that I take over this trailer reaction today, because we're going to be reacting to the trailer, the official trailer for Cobra Kai Season 5, and joining me is Dan. Hello, Dan.
I go by Daniel-san right now, if we're reacting to Cobra Kai.
Blonty.
Dan, I follow Miyagi-do, karate.
Fair enough, Dan. I've seen you do many reactions with Monty. It's great that we can finally interact and do a reaction together.
Yeah, I'm interested to see if our thoughts align, being, again, Miyagi-do versus Cobra Kai here, but like in the show to this point, maybe our powers combined could create one strong reaction to the Season 5 trailer.
There's only one way to find out. Are you ready?
Let's fight.
This is what we're up against. This is how everyone sees him. As some kind of philanthropist out to save the kids of the valley. Terry Silver.
One of you guys named Michael?
It's Michaela.
Whatever. I washed my hands at Cobra Kai when we lost the tournament. I'm not a sensei anymore.
Oh, so he's an Uber.
As of today, I am shutting down Miyagi-do karate.
This can't be your plan.
With Johnny gone, it's on me to fix this.
1 star? Does the car smell like beer? It's because there is beer, asshole.
Cobra Kai now has more students than ever before. That means we'll need more senseis. I'm thinking a lot bigger than just the valley.
Everything was supposed to be better after the tournament. It's only getting worse.
I know how things can start out from nothing and get bigger and bigger until all you feel is hate.
I want you guys to get along. We're all friends now.
We're not friends. We never will be.
I just love the straight assault in public.
Silver's dividing and conquering.
If this begins, all that we have fought for will not even be memory.
I need you to see which of my
Chozen
students
that
are
was
ready to
teased,
take the next step.
You really won't stop.
You need to let me and Chozen handle this. It's the only way to make it all end.
Fine. Handle it.
Yeah, handle it.
All we gotta do is get our hands dirty.
If you continue down this path, nothing in your life will ever be the same again.
Adult classes are on Wednesday.
We're not here to take a lesson. We're here to teach you one.
Alright, that's freaking cool, dude. Come here, man.
I'm happy to hear that you're doing well with the others.
Yeah, well, I make friends pretty easily. I find that a little kindness goes a long way.
Never change. Except in every way possible.
Right, please.
First thing right off the bat, like, we got, like, for as much as they teased this week, the past 7 days, about the reappearance of Sean Kanan's Mike Barnes, no Mike Barnes in the trailer that I saw.
Yeah, interesting. I'm sure they're probably holding that close to the chest, at least as far as the trailer, despite reports being out there, you know. This show is popular enough, and I mean, this trailer certainly increased my already high interest for it, that probably not a need to do it. I don't think it's going to deter or add people to want to watch it one way or the other. I mean, like I said, if you're a Karate Kid fan and not watching it already, like, what are you doing?
Yeah. Okay, second thing, it happened to be on TV, so I was rewatching The Karate Kid 3, and I love Terry Silver. Terry Silver's quite possibly, he's quite possibly the best thing about Karate Kid 3, and he, like, the cocaine energy he brings to that movie is so insane. The mix of pure psychosis and cocaine that he brings to that film is phenomenal. It's so great. And now that he is finally back and he is the main villain of this season, I'm so excited. Karate Dojo World Domination.
What's more terrifying, a coked out Terry Silver or a completely zen Terry Silver?
Completely zen because he's addicted to domination now.
With
Dude,
his child army.
Daniel LaRusso has a battle room. They have a war room in one of the dojos. They're just moving pieces around like they're planning a military assault against children's karate dojos. This is insane.
That did look like potential for like expansion and franchising, but done in the most like terrifying and like militaristic way possible.
Oh, absolutely. No, it's just this is why I love this show. This is
Oh yeah, like, I mean, a show, you have a show where these kids can just fight in public and there are very few consequences. At least like legally.
It's crazy because like these are essentially like juniors in high school, seniors in high school, and they're just committing multiple assaults all over the place, beating the shit out of each other. We already like the Valley already knows that these children are in these gangs, and I just love
what
how
they are gangs. They are gangs.
They're
at
gangs.
This point.
It's turf warfare, and just everyone's just like, nah, we're good. Just let these karate kids fight each other.
One thing I'm interested about, and it kind of glossed over. I thought it was going to be a bigger point, and maybe it is for the series or this season. Was Miguel going and leaving after the end of season 4, and Johnny was going to go find him. It seems like Miguel's back at some point because he has more conflict with Robbie. But it seemed like, to me, I thought Johnny's journey was going to be going and finding Miguel, leaving Danny to go get Chozen. But it seems like Johnny's going to be back in the swing with them soon, if they're showing it this much in the trailer. My thought was most of the season was going to be kind of two side stories there, but it doesn't look to be that way.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because I knew that that's how season 4 ended, right. But watching this trailer, that's the last thing I even thought about because that's nowhere. There's none of that. There's no Miguel's. There's no tease of Miguel's dad. There's no, like, the first sneak peek that we got had a little bit of it, just a smidge, but it seems like they're not going to spend, like you said, they're not going to spend a lot of time there. What's interesting to me is that they kind of are already teasing Robbie coming back into the Miyagi-Do fold, potentially Tori coming into the Miyagi-Do fold, whereas last season kind of focused on the rivalry between Sam and Tori. It looks like this season is going to focus on, even though I'm sure Sam and Tori are going to be a big part of it, it looks like the main focus is going to be on Miguel and Robbie, which there wasn't a lot of last season, if I remember correctly. It seems like this is where they're going to resolve all their issues, if they even do resolve any of them. But it looks like the heavy focus is going to be on those two.
You know what I think all these kids need? Like lessons in conflict management. A lot of these problems would be solved if they just sat down and said, oh, this happened, and oh, I totally misconstrued the situation. But there's a lot of misunderstandings, and which leads to just, punching and kicking each other. Therapy helps a lot of people.
And sometimes you just got to take your gang of mostly privileged teenagers and go beat up another gang of mostly privileged teenagers.
Right. For the bidding of Terry Silver.
For the bidding of the most privileged person in the show, Terry Silver, who's a literal billionaire who lives in a mansion.
With that said, I'm very excited for the season. I love this show.
Me too.
We didn't get a lot of, or any of Eli Moskowitz, which he's probably my favorite character in the show. I think he's grown a lot, has some really strong character development. So yeah. Hopefully he's still featured and focused on, which I'm sure he will be part of the show. But
you could argue that last season, his was the most important arc of last season.
For sure.
We didn't get a lot of him. We didn't get a lot of, most of the ancillary characters. It really put the focus on the main people, the Chozen of it all, the Chozen factor that was really the big cliffhanger of last season, and Terry Silver building his army of karate masters to corner the market on children's karate dojos.
For sure. So, Blonty, anything you didn't like from this trailer?
I'm going to be honest with you, no. because the kind of craziness that we saw in this trailer is what I love about this show. For as much as I loved Cobra Kai in season 1 for the small, very serious show that it was, as serious as it could be based off of the premise, the zanier and the wackier it's gotten from seasons 2, 3, and 4, it's so entertaining. And it works so, I don't know how, but it just works. It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like an 80s show sandwiched between a modern 2020s show, but it's, as much as it's in on the joke, it's not lavishing in it. It's embracing it for what it is, and I think that's why it's been successful.
The show is so ridiculous and absurd, but it in its own universe, it takes itself seriously. It knows it's absolutely ridiculous, but it takes itself so seriously, and they find that sweet spot where it all makes sense somehow. This wealthy billionaire is flying in karate masters from all over the world to build karate dojos to take over the United States of America through the power of tiger showmans.
Yeah, children armies.
And it just works. And it just works. And I don't know why. I don't know how they did it, but I can't stop watching. I need this right now.
Yeah, for me, the only thing that I would say was a little disappointed in, if I'm inferring correctly from what we've got in the trailer, is the Johnny Miguel storyline. I would have loved to see how that relationship played out through a good chunk of the season with Johnny in search of Miguel. I thought that would have been a nice deviation than what we've been getting. I feel, and I'm afraid it might be a lot of the same going forward, if in fact it's a pretty quick fix, I guess, from Johnny finding Miguel and bringing him back home. But if not, great. I'm thrilled. And I'm not saying it's going to make the season bad by any means. I just thought it would have been interesting to explore throughout a whole season, or a good chunk of the season, that relationship, that search, that self-discovery between the two of them.
Yeah, no, and I get that. I think, optimistically speaking, we'll probably get at the most 3 episodes, if any, of their side plot being intermixed with the main plot of the story. But I think it might be 2. Hopefully it's not one and done. Hopefully it's not a resolved by the end of the first episode storyline, because that is a big part, it was kind of, it's the surrogate father and son relationship between Johnny and Miguel is the driving force of this show. It was in season 1, and it still is. And to have Miguel go in search of his real father because he's on the outs with his surrogate adoptive father Johnny, and he's kind of looking for something that is his, and to see kind of where he came from and to find his roots, that's a very interesting storyline, especially for a character like Miguel, who we all love. It's such a great character, and we were all endeared to him from season 1. So yeah, I agree with you. I wish we do get more of that, but at the same time, I also want more psychopaths telling children to fight each other at water parks for just their egos.
We fought at schools, we fought at dojos, we fought in tournaments, we fought in the middle of someone's house. Why not a water park?
Yeah. And something I did notice, Daniel looks a little worse for wear in the trailer. He's got the scruff, looks like he's got a black eye at some points.
Yeah.
Looks like Daniel's going to be getting his butt kicked, maybe both physically and by life a little bit. Maybe Daniel's going to be facing a lot of, maybe marital problems, maybe financial problems, maybe Terry Silver is going to come after LaRusso Auto. So that's something I did pick up.
Yeah. No, definitely good thing to point out. I think you are 100% on the mark there, at least as far as his appearance and what that might mean for his character arc this season. I didn't necessarily get the impression that his wife Amanda there was, I'd say, marital strife, but at least just the situation at hand is causing stress and strain that she wants Daniel to deal with. But again, we'll have to wait for the season to get here to really know one way or the other.
Absolutely. Before we wrap this up, I do just want to ask you one thing, because I'm curious. Now that I'm thinking about it, I am curious. Mike Barnes, we know he's coming back, and we all just assume he's going to be Cobra Kai because of his relationship with Terry Silver. But does Mike Barnes still like Terry Silver after the ending of Karate Kid 3? That I'm curious about, because Terry Silver was the one who made Mike Barnes kind of fight Daniel the way that he wanted him to in that tournament. But I think if Mike Barnes kind of did things his way, maybe he would have beat Daniel, you know. So maybe Mike Barnes could be holding a grudge against Terry Silver. So I'm really curious to see how he factors into it. If he does end up joining Cobra Kai, and if him and Terry do end up working together, I could see that happening. But at the same time, maybe he's holding a grudge against his former sensei, if you will. And maybe he doesn't join with Terry Silver. That would be an interesting twist. And it definitely plays against everyone's assumptions of the character.
I mean, it would be fitting and some poetic justice if, in fact, Mike Barnes... Terry Silver, kind of like what Terry Silver did to Kreese, kind of get the goods on him and get him out there or infiltrate and sabotage. Who knows? He might also just be muscle. We'll see how the show goes. I'm always interested to see how these characters grow or regress, and certainly with how much they're keeping it under wraps, I'm sure they have something special in store with the character.
All right, I think that's going to be it for us, guys. This is going to be awesome. Season 5, can't wait. I want to watch it right now. Dan, where can the people find you?
You can find me hosting the Fancast at 4 podcast every other week-ish, on dropping Fridays. You can find me on Twitter at Fancast at 4, and that's pretty much it.
And you guys can find me, Blonty, occasionally here on the MontyVerse. But for everyone else on the MontyVerse, you can follow them here on YouTube. You can follow them on all the other socials at the MontyVerse. And if you're new to the channel, make sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell to stay up to date on all of our latest content. Until next time, guys, stay versed.